close your eyes and let the gentle scent of starlight and moss fill your dreams. Tonight, the story belongs to you, the elven princess Elaria. Imagine the deepest peace you have ever felt. That is where you live. Your kingdom, Aethelgard, is a realm woven from silver moonlight and ever-blossoming flowers. You are its heart. You rule not with a crown of gold, but with a crown of woven light, and the magic that flows through your veins is the purest form of peace. We call it the whisper light. Every sunrise in Ethelgard, you would walk through the glades, and where your bare feet touched the earth, the ferns would grow a little greener, and the air would hum with ancient, soft melodies. Your people were safe because you taught them that kindness was the strongest armor. But even the brightest light casts a shadow. One cold, terrible season, a dark cloud gathered on the horizon. It belonged to Malachor, the wicked wizard whose magic fed on fear and silence. He hated the joy of Ethelgard. He decided that if he couldn't have happiness, no one should. You watched with dismay as the edges of your kingdom began to frost over, the whisper light struggling against Malachor's creeping gloom. Malachor's goal was clear: to shatter the crystal of eternity, the source of your eternal life and the spring of your magic. You knew that confronting him would demand more than a simple spell. You had to weave a magic barrier so strong it would consume the darkness entirely, and the only fuel powerful enough for that shield was the infinite breath of elven life itself. It was a terrible choice, my little dreamer. Would you protect your immortality and watch your people fade into shadow? Or would you save Ethelgard, knowing the price was everything you were? With a deep breath that smelled of pine and courage, you stood beneath the darkening sky. You raised your arms and spoke the ancient, forbidden words. A golden light erupted from your chest. Endless years of your life, thread by thread, and weaving them into an impenetrable, shining web around the kingdom. The battle was fierce, silent, and entirely magical. The golden thread of your infinite life paid the ransom for peace. Malachor screamed as his darkness was ripped apart, his shadow magic dissolving into nothingness. The threat was gone. Ethelgard was safe. But you, Elaria, sank to your mossy knees exhausted. The sun still shone, the flowers began to bloom again, but the light within you had changed. The eternal glow in your eyes had softened, becoming fragile, human. You were no longer immortal, you had traded forever for today. The elven people wept tears of relief and sorrow. They had their world back, but they saw that their dear princess was now just as subject to the turning of the seasons as the flowers she loved. As you lay resting, weak and mortal for the very first time, a sound approached, not the hoofbeats of an elven steed, but the heavy, muffled tread of a human horse. From the lands beyond the forest border came Prince Lyran, a kind, sturdy human from the neighboring kingdom. He hadn't come for battle. He had ridden for days after hearing whispers of the terrifying gloom that had fallen over Aethelgard. He knelt beside you. He did not use magic or offer ancient elven remedies. He simply saw an exhausted, brave woman. "Princess Elaria," he said, his voice deep and warm, "you have saved your people, but you cannot carry the burden of this fatigue alone." He wrapped you in a thick, warm human cloak that smelled of rain and firelight. He offered you a drink of sweet water from his own flask. He treated you not like a goddess who had fallen, but like a valued friend who desperately needed rest. Prince Lyran did not restore your immortality. No human could do that, but he saved you from fading entirely. He offered you the gift of human love, warmth, companionship, and the steady promise of a shared future. From that day forward, you ruled Aethelgard not as the eternal princess, but as Elaria, the courageous queen who knew the value of every single sunrise. You learned that a life that ends is perhaps more precious because every moment with Prince Lyran and your thriving kingdom was earned through the deepest sacrifice. And that, my dearest one, is the end of the story. You have been brave, Elaria, and now it is time for you to rest. May your dreams be filled with gentle light and the warmth of a kind prince. Sleep now. Sleep deeply.